Hi, it's B, and here I am again. Some days I feel motivated, like I'm moving forward, like the things I'm working towards are actually starting to take shape. And then there are weeks like this one, weeks where I feel tired, stuck, questioning everything. It's funny because if you watched these videos for a while, I probably sound like a broken record. Every week I'm trying to balance work, art, responsibilities, life, and all the things that come with being an adult. But this week felt heavier, not because anything terrible happened, just because sometimes you look around at your life and think, am I getting any closer to where I want to be? And honestly, I don't know. What I do know is that I keep making these videos because I think that they are saving me in the same way art has saved me in my entire life. Art has always been there, and the things that I run towards typically. And when life feels overwhelming, when I feel lost, when I need to remember who I am, and remembering that this is who I am. And maybe that's why I keep showing up here every week, because somewhere inside me, I still believe that all of that matters. I believe that creating matters. I believe that sharing matters. And I think that this is the first time I'm really saying this out loud. I want to be a full-time artist. There it is. That's the dream, to creating paintings, to tell stories, to make videos, to share my process, to spend my days creating things that didn't exist before. The hard part is that I also have a career that demands a lot for me. I care deeply about what I do. I work hard, sometimes too hard, but I want to help people. I want to support my team. I want to make a difference. But if I'm being really honest, by the time I get home some days, I feel like I've already spent all of my energy, my creativity, my focus, the very things that I need for the life I'm trying to build. And maybe that's the struggle, not choosing one or the other, but trying to do both well. Trying to be present for everyone else while still leaving enough for myself, for me. This week I spent time working on my portrait of Mr. F, and painting was easily the best part of my week. Not because the painting was easy, actually it was challenging, but because for a few hours I got to disappear into something I love. I also spent some time cleaning up and revisiting my old portraits. That was a strange experience, I guess. But looking at those paintings felt like, I don't know, it's just a different version of myself. I could remember where I was in life when I painted each one. And I was feeling what I was struggling with, what I was learning. And as always, I find myself staring at the eyes. The eyes. The eyes are what pulls me in every time. They're the hardest part for me, but they're also the most important, because that's where people live. That's where their stories live. That's where I find the person. And seeing all of those portraits together remind me of how grateful I am that I've been able to create them all. Because at the end of the day, nobody can take that away from me. Those paintings exist. I made them. And that's something I am really proud of. Outside of painting, my wife and I went to the carnival, which honestly is less about the rides and more about the memories. We mostly go for the corn dogs and to watch people ride things that we would willingly get on. But every time I walk through a carnival, I notice the same thing. The lights, the colors, the noise, the movement. For a few days, an empty parking lot transforms into something completely different. And maybe that's why I love it, because it reminds me of something I say all the time. Creating something out of nothing, having nothing and creating something. that idea means everything to me. Whether it's a painting, a video, a story, or life, you start with almost nothing. And somehow, if you keep showing up, something begins to take shape. That's what I'm trying to remember right now, because maybe what I'm feeling isn't failure, maybe it's burnout. Maybe it's been carrying so much that it started spilling into the one thing I never want to lose, which is my art. But I still have a choice. I can keep showing up. I can keep painting. I can keep making these videos. And I can keep believing that the future I'm working towards is still possible. Even if I can't see it yet. And maybe that's where faith comes in. Not knowing how things will work out, but continuing anyway. I am grateful for this space. I am grateful that I can come here and be honest, that I don't have to pretend everything is figured out, because it isn't. It really, really isn't. And maybe someone else out there feels exactly the same way. And for what's next, I'm already have another portrait in mind. It's someone I've come to know and deeply respect, someone who has helped me more than they possibly realize. I won't say too much yet, but Mrs. C has become a source of encouragement in my life. She's kind, bright, thoughtful, and one of those rare people who makes you feel understood. So that's the next painting, the next story, and honestly, I can't wait to start. So I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.